That hush puppy is a possibility. Coach Best, good to see you as always.
How's it going now?
Got a good group of kids tonight. Enjoy talking to those guys.
Yeah, those are my boys right there.
They do a good job. Do a good job with the Dudley Panthers. Got to feel good about those guys. Trey Meadows has really grown up a lot the past couple years, hasn't he?
Yes, man. I still remember when he came in as a freshman. And you could see the talent there. He was a big kid as a freshman, and then sophomore year he came up there. Started right there for us as a sophomore. Kind of got thrown in the fire, and he's grown up for us at free safety. And he's by far one of the leaders of the defense. He can call the whole defense for us.
See, Elijah Harris, kind of a steady and force to it, that linebacker spot.
Oh yes, he's a key piece for us. He's the senior in the linebacker core. We have a junior and two sophomores.
Young, because last year you got guys like Chris Register, you got guys like Tom Majak.
Right.
And you had some killers there last year.
And then like with Chris, he had been starting linebacker since his sophomore year, and Tong is junior and senior year. So those guys, they knew the defense, and these kids, they're very talented. They're just young, and then we're having Eli there as a steady force to kind of help get everybody lined up is something that we need. We got to have somebody to help us get lined up.
How have you guys been able to keep this thing going? You not come off the tracks at all, and I think 22 straight games.
Right. One thing is this year we had to be patient. By far we're talented, but like I said, in some areas we're young. And we had to be patient and let them grow up a little bit. The talent has got us through a couple games. We had some mistakes in a couple games that games should have were closer than people thought.
The Hillside game.
The Hillside game, especially the Hillside game. We had some mistakes and turnovers. We were inside the red zone 5 times and scored twice. But we had to grow up.
Right.
And especially with a quarterback. That was one of the games he had to grow up, and
Yeah, it's not the kind of thing. Even though he's a sophomore, he had a little experience as a freshman last year.
Right.
So it's not the kind of matter if your name is Hooker, your name is Booker, your name is Crooker or Cooker. If you step in there, it's gonna be tough on anybody taking over.
And that's one thing we had to do with Hooker this year. Coming in, like I said, he played a little bit as a freshman. Spot duty at the end of the game, no pressure. He got some experience.
Game's already in. Over.
Game's already over. Game's already won. So he got some play. This year, you're the man. You coming in. And one thing that we know is he came in with a lot of eyes on him.
A lot of expectations.
He came in with a lot of expectations, and we had to get him to play your game. We know there's a lot of pressure on him. For one thing, you're replacing Emmanuel Moser at quarterback, a Dudley, and coming in with the talent that we still have. You just got to be the facilitator. Just get people the ball, and
Yeah, because he's got a great core running backs back there. You look at your numbers in the backfield. You look at Darius Graves, about 851, 861. Look at Kyle Young, about 720 on the ground. You got the Maynard kids. You got the McCray kid. You got a lot. And Hooker's got about 430, I think, on the ground.
And one thing, especially offensively, we got so many guys who can run the ball that we won't balance. That's one thing to keep teams honest. You can't focus on 28. You can't focus on 5. Grace, Young, you can't focus on one because you don't know who's getting the ball.
Exactly.
You got McCray, you got Maynard in a slot that's coming in around. We even get our receivers the ball, running the ball. Person Boyd and Coakley, we get them the ball running, then you got Hooker coming as well. So we like to have a lot of balance on offense. We're spreading the ball around, and it's worked for us. And I think, especially with Hooker, running the ball has helped him calm down and pass the ball.
Yeah, because you're a quarterback, you start the game out making a few runs, have some success, kind of get broken into the game a little bit, then that'll kind of set your passing up game as you go along.
Exactly. And one thing was learning the reads, like I said, he picking up the speed of the game, going against that first string instead of that fourth string that he was getting, So it was a big difference, and I think he's starting to get very comfortable. In the last couple of games, you can see him pick it up a little bit more, understand the offense a little bit. And one thing, we're having Graves and Young, it's not as much pressure on him, So it
makes a big difference on, like, say, third down, you need that extra yard, or so you get that first down, you get one of those running backs.
Exactly.
Instead of having to throw the ball.
With Graves coming over his sophomore year, and then Young been on varsity since his freshman year, we've had those guys for 3 years in the same offense. So those two, they know the offense, and they can help Hooker out a lot.
You got guys like the Graves and guys and Young too, guys like that always seem to kind of step up big their senior year.
Right.
Look at Watlington, man. We didn't know much about Watlington going last year. All of a sudden, Watlington, he was like the household main man. NC State had Watlington across the middle of the field. He played so he was like a baby bull in that backfield. That guy was tough in that game. And you get guys like seniors that step up big like that. That means a lot to a program.
Right. And you know, Watlington, he came halfway through his junior year. He came to us. He transferred from Caswell County. He came in from Bartlett Yancey.
Wow,
so
all places. Bartlett Yancey. You can never win a game. They can never win one. Here comes a guy from that school.
Yeah, he came.
Your program in.
He came in right. You know, he might have been the last game of the season when he finally got to play a little bit and then going into the playoffs. And with him, he made a costly turnover in our game against North Davidson at North Davidson. And I think that really pushed him his senior year. You know, he said, I'm never going to let that happen again. And you see the kind of season he had last year. Now playing at A&T, you know, he worked. And like with Graves, he worked. You know, the kid worked hard all off season. You know, working, get faster, getting stronger. One of the fastest on the team, one of the strongest on the team.
Had to be tough on Graves too to sit there and watch the other guys. You go out and you get like maybe a plaque or maybe a ring or a medallion for winning the game, but to see the guys win the game, you weren't in the game. That makes you think about it too.
Those last 3 games really hurt him, and you can see the hurt on his face. You know, the second round of playoffs against North Davidson, he broke his hand, and you know, if he played another position, he might can help us. But playing running back, you kind of need your hand.
You gotta have that hand.
So you know, it was very tough for him. He tried to play, but with the cash he had, he only had 2 fingers. So you know, if we needed an emergency, he could play. But
something else that's big on returns to that hand. Because you get a punt return, trying to make a punt return, hits that hand, or you're going to muff it. The same thing with the kickoff returns. That's what he was. That's what I knew that number 28 for in a big way before he exploded this year. He was such a key for you on those returns.
I know his sophomore year he had 5 kickoff returns for us. Last year he had a couple, and
that's one to the house, right?
Yeah, to the
5 to the house
as a sophomore. Yes, when he first came to us, and that kind of put Greensboro on who's Darius Graves.
Yeah, exactly.
And then as people started getting known, they know not to kick to him. He got him one finally against Northern Durham. They gave him a good one. He took a 75 for us, and with a guy like Darius, you just want to give him the ball in any aspect you can.
How tall is he?
He's about 5'9". He knows.
He's built kind of low to the ground, which you like that for speed on returns. You get to that outside
very powerful. With his size, with his size, you got to be able to run. And he definitely had speeds. Ran 4.4 multiple times at camps this summer. Ran 4.46, ran 4.48. At multiple camps at Carolina, at UNC Charlotte. He has the speed and he got the power to go with it. So a lot of colleges might have been a little hesitant because he's only 5'9". But I said, for me, I don't want a running back that's too tall. Those legs.
On a given day, I'll take 5'9", take 5'10", because it's been some of the rap against T.J. Logan at Carolina this year when he wasn't having good games. They start talking about his size, and he has a big game like he did last week. Right. Doesn't matter at all.
I'm for one thing, I'm glad T.J. Logan is gone. I know he can move, and he's doing very well at Carolina. Like I said.
It's kind of crazy because you knew him pretty well, and you also knew Hood pretty well too.
Oh yeah, that's a lot. Unfortunately, we got a firm road look at Hood last year, and then defense stepped up for us and made some great plays. He's a heck of a running back.
I told one of your players, I said that 4th and 2, I think from the 7-yard line, he got 1.5 yards. That had to be the biggest play of the entire year.
Yes,
because I still feel like, no disrespect toward Dudley, if they don't stop him on that 4th down, they're going to be down inside the 7. I think there's no way you can stop him from keeping out of the end zone.
And when he ran so hard, he's such a great running back, and he read his keys well. That 4th and 2 we still talk about today as a coach's staff.
I bet so, yeah.
Isaiah Little, we put him in on that play. He clogged up a big hole for us. And then that left Albert and Albert McLean, O.C. Kaku, and matter of fact, Eli Harris on the tackle. They stayed big stop 4th down for us. That helped us out.
One thing about Hood, he does run a little bit upright. If you can hit an upright guy and stand him up long enough to get people to him, you can hold him in the spot, not let him get that forward progress. You're okay.
And that's why we needed Big Albert to hit him first last year. He hit him first, and everybody, came and got a piece of him at the end. But we need a big
Albert McLean sometimes is kind of a forgotten man to some degree in that defense. There's no way to be forgotten because the defense played so well. But by the end of the year, when the postseason awards started coming in, there's Albert Albert McClain out front carrying the banner.
You know,
wow.
With the defense last year, you know, everyone knew of Chris Register.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone knew of Emmanuel Mosley. And, you know,
and the crazy about Mosley, I was thinking about it the other day, and I thought about it a long time. That kid was headed to Charlotte.
Yes.
Then he recommitted to Tennessee because his things started to change, get better for him. That's a major move.
And the one thing, you know, his recruitment kind of started off slow. He didn't play his sophomore year in football. He played basketball.
He did, yeah.
And, you know, he's great basketball player, great defender. And we knew the speed. And then his junior year, we played him at receiver and corner. And just the athleticism, you know, people kind of said, everybody was worried about his weight. You know, he started his senior season out weighing about 164s, and then I guess as the season went on, lost more and more weight. And his first day at Tennessee weighing 145 pounds.
I remember they talked about that when the articles at Tennessee. They sure did.
But one thing is, no one's going to outwork Emmanuel Mosley.
Yeah.
He's a very hard worker
and he's been on the field for Tennessee his freshman year.
And, you know, and I talked to him. He came home. You know, he just talking about this first day he showed up at Tennessee. Everyone was trying to wonder why he was there. And then they put the cleats on, he started running. All those questions ended. And, you know, he got the respect of his teammates very early. Going in early, got the respect of the seniors. And, you know, so just by how hard he worked. And that's one thing I'm very proud to say.
He can't ask for a better stage than the Southeastern Conference.
Right.
He's showing his talents, too. That's the best stage in the world.
You know, when he committed, everybody was trying to figure out who this guy was. And as a coaching staff, we know that they was getting a gym because he has the athleticism, and now that he's put on the weight, I mean, it's just about gaining experience.
What's he up to weight-wise?
Well, when I talked to him a couple of weeks ago, he came home. He was about at the beginning of June, he was about 178. Now he's about 181. So
wow,
he's
going up instead of coming down. Some guys come down when the season gets shaken.
Yes, and he's still on. Since he got to Tennessee in January, they had him on 6 meals a day.
6 meals a day.
And so he had to wake up 3 o'clock in the morning.
He's put on about 30 pounds or more.
He put on 33 pounds from January to June, and then put on a couple more pounds during camp. He lost a little weight during camp, obviously, and put a little bit more on during the season.
But hadn't lost any speed at all.
No, they say he still one of the fastest, if not the fastest on the team.
Amazing.
So now he's just gaining some experience and playing well, you know, as a true freshman.
How tall is he again?
He's about 5'11", 6 foot, you know. And when I seen him, he looked like he was growing some more. And he said, my knees hurting, so
that might be something going on. Yeah, his knees start hurting a little bit.
But like I said, with Albert, he might have been a forgotten man, but when you line down in front of him, it took a man to block him.
You might not be able to remember because you may have suffered a near concussion when he hit you. Your head may be spinning back.
He told me when we played Rocky River, the center from Rocky River said, I might play in the toughest conference in the state, but you might be the best defensive player I played against. He told him that in Williams one. I said, you gaining your respect.
Yeah, you gain respect, that's for sure. Rocky River wasn't a bad team.
No.
They're kind of up-and-coming bunch of guys there.
Yeah, no, they're in a great area, a great talent pool down in Charlotte, and they got fast. I mean, they got good really fast.
Yeah, got some good skill guys.
Really great skill guys, and we might be seeing them again as the 4A West is looking like it's going to be very talented and loaded again.
Was Catholic among those teams?
Catholic, Mooresville.
Mooresville's tough. They lost a game.
They haven't lost. You know, you still got Southeast, Mount Tabor, all these right here in this area. It's going to be a tough one this year.
The schedule maybe favors you guys a little bit. It's getting a little bit tougher every week.
Right.
Talk to players about that. I got Grimsley tomorrow night. Should be a bit of a challenge, more so than the Southern Alamance.
Right.
Then you got Page. He may have what might be the toughest conference game to last from the Southeast. Can't look at those games.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, you want it to be better, harder as the season goes on. You guys have been battle tested, but not been battle teared yet.
Right. And the one thing for us is, you know, like I said, the Hillside game kind of showed us a lot because we played a team that was very similar to us, size, athleticism, and we played at the place. And for our young guys, it kind of showed them the big stage because you know you was in Durham and it was you couldn't find a seat. So
the good thing about that is you get into Durham playing Hillside, you come in as Dudley, you're gonna bring more people in there to see what this Dudley team looks like against Hillside.
It was a great ride, and that's what we get a lot of, you know. And we tell the guys, you're going to be measured up to last year, but what you got to know is this is your team this year, and this year we've had to be patient. You know, like I said, with some of the young guys, we got very talented, but you just got to grow up on the field, you know. And each week we're getting a little bit better. And a good thing when we're starting to get a little bit healthy now. Like I said, we went through
those offensive linemen back.
Yes, we got one back. Hopefully we'll have another one back next week.
Isaiah Little coming back now?
Isaiah Little, he played. He got cleared last week and played a little bit, and he's looked great this week at practice. And so, you know, 335 pounds is a very big bonus on the offensive line. He's been playing for 3 years and got one more with him. So, you know, 6'5", 6'6", and that's what Graves and Young want to run behind. So So
Yeah,
you know,
you're not kidding, because it's not hard. You pop off that right side or whatever for just a split second, you can be somewhere.
yeah, and when I tell you, he clears the lane. So the thing with the injuries, it's been a blessing and a curse. You know, obviously the curse. You know, you don't want anybody injured. But the thing is, we got some young guys that really step up for us. You know, when we play Smith, we have 4 sophomores in there.
On the offensive line.
On the offensive line. So, you know, that's a test for us as a coach, you know. Kind of limits your play calling because you want to be able to accomplish.
You guys had to make some adjustments at halftime.
Yes,
14-7, only up by a touchdown.
Definitely. You know, playing a team like Smith where we're very similar systems, obviously, with Coach Kirkpatrick over there, you know, coming from us. You know, nothing's a secret between the two teams, and you know. So, and then, like I said, you're going to get the best out of Smith just because it's a rivalry, and they play the best. And those kids grew up in that game as well. Those linemen that we needed. We needed them, and they stepped up for, especially in the second half. You know, first half they might have been a little shell-shocked, playing in front of, you know, 7,000 to 8,000 people. Right. You know, going from a JV game the week before to playing in front of that.
Those guys were playing JV.
You know, some of them was our JV linemen that had to play. But the thing is, they kind of we have depth now. You know, they kind of step up in that varsity level.
Yeah, when you face adversity, you're actually building for your future.
Exactly. So now, you know, looking into the future, those sophomores, we know that they're capable of doing it for the next, you know, upcoming years.
Exactly.
So I mean, one thing, it's been a blessing and curse, and we've had to be patient, and now we're starting to get a little healthy. We know that we can be really good. We play to our best of our ability. We can be really good.
I was talking to one of your guys. It might have been Mr. Graves, one of your young men. Mm-hmm. They were saying they thought Stimson may be back for Grimsley tomorrow night. Mm-hmm. Is that true?
Well, I'm not sure. You know, it's kind of rumor he'll be back, get a little healthy. You know, for us, we got a game plan for Grimsley.
Right.
Everybody on the team.
Right.
And we know Stimson is a playmaker.
He's
for
a different kind of player.
He's a great player for him.
Stuff he did last year. I think it was a sophomore last year. He came in for Jake Simpson
when he got hurt.
And the other guy came over this year you had Simpson, Stimson, and Stimson. Or Stimson back to Stimson. Yes. Anyway, when he came on board, he won some games, those guys, with his legs and arm both.
Right. He's definitely a great player, and Grimsley definitely has some talent. You know, they have some great players over there, and our guys, we got to come in focused, ready to play football, 4 quarters of football.
Yeah, I got those Williams brothers that transferred in from Page, Mike and Caleb Williams. One's a running back, one's a receiver, and I'm sure they wanted to do well last week. It didn't work out for them. Page maybe is.
Page is a good team.
Too. Yeah.
You know, one thing, people might look at their record, but I say you got to look at who they played too.
Right.
They played a great non-conference schedule that's preparing them for conference.
Davie County and Butler and all those guys.
You're only going to get better when you're playing Davie and Butler and East Forsyth. Those are great teams, and it shows you a lot with your team.
I guess you got to suck it up and say we're getting ready for the conference.
Right. And we know Page has talent.
Yeah.
And we're not looking at any record for any team in the conference because we know we got to play our best every night because we're going to get the best from every team.
That had to be a big win for Southeast, though, when they beat Page for the second year in a row.
Right. Southeast, you know, Coach Fritz is doing a great job over there.
He's doing a very good job.
He has a great team over there. We know we can't look at Southeast yet because we got 2 games before them, but they have a great team over there.
The funny thing about those guys, they lost a ton of linemen. They had some huge 350-pounders.
They
lost those guys. They lost those 2 running backs, C.J. McThay, number 2. They lost Antonio Moore, number 25. Moore went to Andrews. Thanks to work out at Andrews. His mom had to switch jobs. He ended up over at Central. I don't think he's playing right now. But Antonio Moore and C.J. McThay, those were 2 young men who could play for just about any team in the state. And they lost both of those and then came right back in and just kind of reloaded that backfield.
Yeah, you know, Coach Fritz has a great program where, you know, it's just like pretty much our program, next man up, you know.
Yeah.
And with them, they have a great system. That wing T offense that he runs, you know, the players know the system, and it's easier to step up, you know. Southeast has a great team this year, you know. We'll look forward to playing them last game of the season. First, we got to get past Grimsley and then Page.
Yeah.
Right now, we worried about the Whirlies.
And you got to have a quarterback that can be a leader. That's what you guys have now in the sophomore. He's taking over that leadership role.
Yeah, Hooker, he's come a long way this year, and you know, first you could tell he was a sophomore, and now, you know, even in practice, he's starting to realize it's his show, it's his team now. You know, all eyes on you, and now he's
this year he's pretty much been injury free. Then, which is a good thing.
You know, he get nicks and bruises that you're gonna get during the season, but nothing major. You know what I'm saying? And he's starting to pick up the offense more and more every weekend. he has all the talent in the world. He's going to be a good one.
You know, the old saying is the sky's the limit, but I bet for him on running, he's got the running ability. But I think passing-wise, you may see some crazy things from Dudley pass in the next couple of years once he gets rolling with that passing game.
And the one thing, he has a cannon for an arm. You know, the one thing is we got to work on that touching. When to lay a little bit off and when to beam it, you know.
I'm thinking about a possibility right quick in my mind. If Hooker's over that cannon of arm, if you still had, you just bring him back for a couple of games, bring back David Amerson.
Oh, man.
Could you imagine those two together? That would be crazy.
6'4" to 6'3", man. I can only imagine. Don't get my hopes up.
I can still see Amerson on some of those sideline patterns and those returns.
Yes.
Man, that was unreal what that guy would do.
David
might have
was
been that
special.
Page game when Page came to your place that one year. I think you guys beat Page and Page challenged you. Amerson made a big play, I think, late in that game.
We ran a couple hitches with him, you know, to kind of get in the bite, and then we went a hitch and go. And Dave made a play. He's a great player and doing great things for the Redskins right now. Dave was one of those rare athletes, just a great athlete who could make plays for you. And Hooker has that same type of ability. You know, with the frame he has now, and his hands are probably as big as his table, you know. He's going to be a good one, and I'm going to watch out for
his
him.
choice. He's going to have a problem some people would love to have when he gets to be older. He's got to decide which one he's going to play in college, football or basketball.
And like I said, right now, the coaches are talking to him with both, and he's starting to get offers from both already. And like I said, he has all the potential to work in both sports. And like I said, we would not make him choose at all. That is definitely his decision. I say he might be one of those great athletes who get to play both in the collegiate, because he's great at both. And you can see the talent on both.
One good thing you guys better do is kind of spread to other schools. I think now too is better to get the basketball players to come out and play football.
Right.
I think other people are trying that now at other schools too. After seeing the success you guys had with that move.
Yeah, I know Coach Seagraves might not like it right now, because he really can't start his season.
He hung tough last year, but it was worth it. They won the title.
Yes, he hung tough, you know, with his son Breon.
Yeah.
You know, he had 4 starters on the football team. So
yeah, because Vance was out there
Khalil,
too.
yes.
Boy, Vance had to get that. He was a football man probably about the first month and a half of basketball. Once he got that rust off, he was going again.
Yeah, he had to get that rust off, and we've been trying to get Khalil to play football since he's been there.
He's a rare breed. That kid had more time than he ever realized. He didn't know what he had.
Yes, and you know, he had a banged up knee, so he was kind of skeptical, you know, coming. But then he came and said, "I'm gonna play this year." We didn't really believe him, but when he came, man, he made a difference for us.
It was that senior that was it for him.
His senior year, he played 1 year for us. You know, we thought it was gonna come his junior year, but then the knee wasn't acting right for him. He came his senior year, had 19 sacks, and, you know, about 25 tackles for loss, man, and he's doing well at Pembroke.
I noticed that Page had gotten the one kid out too, DeAndre Overton, one of their basketball players came out as a receiver. He's probably doing pretty well.
Yeah, he's doing well. You know, with that size, 6'5", 6'6", you give him a chance. You know,
that's one part you don't have to teach right there. They've already got that part.
You can't teach size. You know, I'm trying to get a couple more of my basketball players. You know, just come on. You know, like I said, we got Hooker who can throw the ball. I just got to make sure I want everybody I can to throw it to.
Here's an interesting idea. You guys haven't had to use this yet, but do you have any kind of plays, maybe in the back of your old playbook somewhere, where somebody else just slips in, either under center in the shotgun formation, and Hooker kind of flares out to the side and throw him a pass?
Well, if you ask Hooker already thinks he has the best hands on the team and thinks he's the best receiver. We got a couple things drawn up, like I said. We got some things in the playbook. For Hooker, you know, we want to use that frame as best as we can. And, you know, he like I said, he got great hands, and he can catch the ball. He's just a great athlete. And we got some things, you know, with a little funk in the backfield with him, and split him out a little bit.
Probably hadn't had to use that yet, but we have that in the playbook.
We got some things we work on a little bit in practice.
Because you could just see that with him, with that ability.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something else you might see, too, is him maybe take a snap and ladder the ball to another player, and him break out in a pattern. Somebody could throw it.
Yeah, that's what we used back when I played together. We had Perry. You know, we had Trey Perry and that great speed he had. You know, he tossed it and he'd run right back up the sideline the other way, and at 4.3, 4.4 speed, it was hard to catch.
Anybody can do it, be him. Because I was talking to some kids in here a few weeks back. Some kids was about going to Gardner-Webb.
Right.
I remember Trey Perry went to Gardner-Webb. He went there and he set the record not only for Gardner-Webb but the entire South Atlantic Conference.
Right.
Record setter for the whole league for career receptions.
Great athlete,
Crazy
man.
stuff.
And, you know, went there to play football and baseball, and broke his foot in baseball. So, I mean, just one of those great athletes, man.
I remember him playing against NC State when Gardner-Webb went to state one year. There he was on the field.
Yes.
It's crazy to hear those guys that go up from like Dudley and other schools go out and play for these major schools. You turn the television, the radio, whatever, hear those guys, see those guys. It's just amazing.
Yes, and you know, when Emmanuel came back after his first game this year, he gave me his gloves from his first collegiate game. And, you know, it means I got him in a frame at the house.
Who was that again?
Emmanuel Mosley he gave me his gloves from his first game, you know, because I was the one who got him to come back and play football.
What color were they, white or orange?
They're black, and they're on the orange on the inside. And I told him, and actually Hooker said when it get cold, he wants me to wear them so he can see my fingers when they call the plays.
Interesting.
So I said I'm gonna do it. I might even bring him out tomorrow night.
That's interesting.
You know, he gave it to me, and I was speechless.
That means a lot.
It means a lot. He said, "Well, I was kind of the reason I got him there because when he didn't play his sophomore year, you know, I said." Emmanuel, I know you love basketball, but your future's in football because of the athleticism. And, you know, I got him back out there, and the rest has been history so far. Yeah. So, you know.
So who knows? You may well see him in the NFL one day.
Yes, man. If anybody, he has the mindset that he wants to be great, and he's going to be. Chris as well. Actually, a lot of those guys. Chris is actually healing from a leg injury that he actually sustained during the senior season. He had stress fracture, so he redshirted this year to make sure, get healthy. And then, he's looking good. He came back from homecoming, almost didn't recognize him, just his size alone,
real
man.
solid.
I mean, solid. He's looking to start next year, because right now he's behind 2 senior linebackers.
That's good.
So he's behind Anthony and stuff and getting some great experience. He's actually healthy now and clear to practice. So he's getting some great experience, and he's saying my goal is to start next year. So
I just had to be at their website today because I was checking up on DJ Reader because DJ has missed maybe a few games down there too. But I'll tell you, the schedule that Clemson has could become like a 10-2 team.
Right.
They could have a great year. And
they got a lot of talent over there.
Oh, yeah.
And when I went, took some of these guys to Clemson camp and everything, just being down there, it's a great atmosphere down there at Clemson, man. So I know Chris is going to enjoy it down there. I know DJ's enjoying it down there right now playing. Death Valley is a place to be.
You got any guys this year that may leave early? Anybody on this year's team that may get the college call and may go in January? Anything like that working for you?
One thing right now, Trey Meadows is probably the one who he was talking today. He's scheduled to graduate early. Right now, he got a couple college choices, and we kind of waiting on one offer from a team in Raleigh.
Okay.
They love him, and we're kind of waiting to see what that. And,
if they're even interested, that's a good thing. But they really like it. That's a
they really like.
He
performed well in camp, and they love him. We're just kind of waiting for him because one thing he has is great size as a defensive back, about 6'1", 6'2".
That's one good thing you got going for you too. The fact that Emerson went there, that's a good connection to have.
Yes, and Dave actually talked to him. You talk to the coaches, man. With one thing about Trey has the knowledge of the game. He's a very smart kid. On the field, off the field, 4.2 GPA. Just one of those great kid, scheduled to graduate early. And I'm just really amazed to see the kid grow up. Play with his brother, Quan. On the 07, he was on the 07 to 08 team. So Quan Meadows, that's his older brother. So he knows the game as a defensive back end. I'm really excited to see what he's going to do at the next level.
And you guys had another player, was DeMario Presic.
Yes, DeMario. DeMario was there when I played, man. It's just a great football player and a great just guy off the field, man.
He didn't play like a maniac as a big man. He played like a smart big man.
Yes, he played with great technique. And one thing, even though he had the size, he played with great technique. So, one thing, and he got to stay and play excellent, play well for the Saints and the Panthers, And DeMario actually just had a baby girl not too long ago.
Where does he end up at now?
I believe I know he was still in. I want to say still in Charlotte. He's still in Charlotte because he had surgery last year on his foot when he was playing for the Panthers. I think he had toe surgery and everything. So right now he's still healing. He's on the practice squad a little bit for the Panthers. So he's doing well. Him and his wife.
So what's the mindset? What's the goal for the Panthers? With Coach DeNorris Best here, the offensive coordinator for the Dudley Panthers. What's the mindset, the goal for the rest of the year?
We want keep improving and being steady, and we know we break our season down in 3 parts. Season 1 is over, that's our non-conference. Season 2, we got 3 weeks left, and that's our conference. We know we want to represent the Metro as champions. That's our goal right there. We want to, the ones who, and what I tell our kids, when we warm up, I always have a little motivation speech for them.
Yeah.
And if somebody wants to ring, we want them to come through the top to get it. They got to take it from us, and that's one thing we say, we're not going to just give it up. You got to come take it from us, and that's kind of our mindset. We want continue to get better every week, and we got the same goal. We're 15-0. We want to play in December. Coach Mack always said, the game to remember is the one played in December. So that's the same mindset, and we got a chance.
What kind of chant you got going this year? That pregame chant, that pregame, about the same one every day?
No matter where we go, we always say we at the Panther House, because where we go, no matter we home or away, we turn into the Panther House. We are at the top. And one thing, the kids love it. We always do our D-boys in the house. They love, because when they say when Dudley come in the house, it's bad news for the other team. Mm-hmm. They love it, and Trey has his own chance that he got for the kids. He's one of our vocal leaders. I do a little bit something every week. I come up with something Friday while I'm at school teaching. I come up with something, and then Trey got my back for everything else. He actually has taken a little bit of the Seattle Seahawks chance this year. Gotcha. He thinks with the Legion of Boom a little bit. So
Legion of Boom. Gotcha.
Who got our back? His teammates got his back, so he has his own little chance. I love watching 9 and warm-ups.
Yeah.
Chris was our guy last year. 9 is our guy this year.
Number 9,
so,
yes sir.
You want to see a show? You watch number 9 and warm-ups.
You guys had a lot of fun with that the past couple of years.
Yes, man, and I think it's one thing. Kind of gets the mind right, get the kids excited about playing football.
It's good too when the opposition comes in, and even the opposing fans. I don't know who it was last year, but Charlotte Catholic or the Rocky River team or the North Day, whoever it was you guys played all at the home other than the championship game. But the opposing team comes in, they start, because we're at one team, they brought their heaters for the fans.
Yes.
They were trying to hook they couldn't get it to work.
Yeah.
Remember how you guys start going that chant.
Yes.
Those fans start taking that notice, and they start realizing that. Because you guys started talking about those heaters. Remember that?
Oh yeah. North Davidson came in last year, and last year North Davidson was a special game for us. We lost 2 the year before in the playoffs, so the guys didn't need any more motivation. And as we were doing a chance last year, had a couple of parents say, we in the house tonight. So they were saying it was nice. It was the Knights' house. So the kids, they just gave them a little extra fire, and that's all it took. And the rest was history that night. So it gets everybody fired up and get ready to play Panther football.
And I tell you what, that North Davidson game, I bet that was back in the day when Richard Hayes III was still there.
Yes, he was a quarterback. We came out great first half, and mental mistakes second half, and we ended up losing that second half. And they had a great team. North Davidson has a great team. It's a great program over there. And
they haven't lost a game yet this year.
No, they haven't. I swear, Shot Total's been there for at least 6 years.
Like it, yeah.
He's been playing since freshman. We got one more year dealing with that big number 7.
Well, you put your man Isaiah Little against Earl. Boy, that'd be the matchup, the mammoth behemoth matchup.
Yes, and that happened a little bit for us last year. We said one person who could match up size-wise with Tuttle would be Isaiah. And he did everything we asked for him to do. Going against a guy like Shot Tuttle, helped him out mentally till he knows he could
kept building. You finally just snowballed them and buried them.
Right. First half was tough, and then we kind of got some things that we liked, and Emmanuel had a great game throwing the ball. Threw for 286 yards that game. North Davidson came in prepared to stop the run, and we kind of had some things in plan, and we got great protection that night. In a pocket for Emmanuel.
You got hot receiving. Coakley get hot that night?
Coakley got hot that night. Coakley came in from Georgia last year.
Yeah.
He moved in from Georgia last year. Started getting, he had to get into the system, and that was his breakout game for us last year. And the playoffs was his breakout for us last year. Coakley's a great, about 6'2", can run, and him and Person Boy, 2 great receivers. We just got to get him the ball. That was definitely Christian Coakley's breakout game.
Do you use the backs and you just kind of look at what you guys might do? Do you toss some passes, short passes?
One thing with Young and Grace, and even McCray and Maynard, we just get the ball in their hands. We just try to, just simple, quick throws. With a guy like Graves, you get him the ball in space, he can make things happen. He can make things happen. He can take a 5-yard game to a 90-yard game. So we got some simple routes and stuff. Just get them the ball.
What about this Maynard kid? Any relation to Connell Maynard?
No, he.
First thing I saw that, I thought, gosh, Connell was here a few years back at A&T.
Yeah. You see him run the ball, he kind of runs like he did, kind of like Connell Maynard. Jaden Maynard is a great athlete. He's a quarterback for us. He also plays receiver and slot. He was our JV quarterback the last 2 years, and he played receiver for us on varsity last year. And he's just one of those guys, you got to get the ball in his hand. He can make people miss, and he's one of those kids you did not want to see in the open field.
Tell you the crazy thing about people, they forget about this sometimes too, that what makes Dudley so good was now 22 straight wins,
Yes.
15 last year, 7 this year,
Yeah.
but your JV team this year has not lost a game,
Yes.
and you didn't lose any, if many, last year.
Yeah,
the JV program has been strong the past couple
Yeah,
years.
we've lost one game in 3 years, the last 3 years with our JV. We had a tough game against Page last year, and Page got us last year, but that was our one loss last year. And the year before that, we had went undefeated, and last year we had one loss, and they've been undefeated so far. And one thing with our junior class this year, these kids haven't lost in 4 years. Some of these kids haven't lost in 4 years. You know,
That's like being down at with Independence when
Yes.
they lose a game like 7 years.
Yes,
or
so
whatever it was.
like some of these kids, Person Board Maynard, some of these kids, they were undefeated their 8th grade year at Lincoln, and undefeated their freshman year. Ellen JV, these guys played varsity last year, undefeated on varsity last year.
They don't know how to lose.
So
which is
you
a
know
good
one thing, you know. So like I said, with the game like Hillside, some of these close games have been a blessing because some of these kids, some of these guys haven't played in a tight game already.
Right.
So it's like I said, it's been a blessing for us.
It's almost like you may need, if you get this situation, you may need to bring a team in, have a scrimmage game during the season.
And yes, and you know that's kind of what we want to do in this offseason. Kind of see where we were. You know, we went scrimmage
When you
Mallard
think
Creek.
about people about how good is Dudley this year, I got to look at that preseason game because you went down to Mallard Creek.
Right.
They're still considered the best team in the state with even one loss.
Right.
Man, you guys went down and went toe to toe with them all the way.
Yes, and we was even missing a couple guys that game, and matter of fact, like Isaiah Little, he didn't play that game, and a couple other guys didn't play. And when our kids battled, there was a scrimmage, or pretty much it was a game that something they've been looking forward to all summer. You know, once we told them we was going to take a little trip to Charlotte to see Mallard Creek. So when they see these guys at camp, they've been talking about it at camp and everything. So they came out ready to play, and you know, it showed us some good things and showed us some stuff we had to work on, like any scrimmage does. But it shows us that we're close, you know, because with the talent and size that Mallard Creek has, you know, for us, you know, just to be there with them, that kind of lets us know how close we are. And you know, even with our jamboree that we had at Dudley, we had Charlotte Vance and Richmond County, South Meg, High Point Central. We just wanted some great talent, kind of measure ourselves early in the season.
Yeah, I think Mallard Creek had Vance last week before. I think beat them by 8 points.
Yeah, they have. Vance has some great size and great talent. Hopefully, we won't have to see them in the playoffs as well because they're a very talented team.
You think they'll be Big A or small?
With the Charlotte, they're one of those Charlotte teams that's on a line, so we don't really know where they go. We know Rocky River will be small 4A and Charlotte Catholic will be small 4A, but some of those other teams, they on that line. Depends on every year.
North Davidson probably A.
North Davidson be small 4A, I believe.
West Forsyth's got to be big 4A.
West Forsyth is big. East Forsyth is big. Like I said, Page will go big. You know, because I really think Page got a chance to,
get in.
Yeah, they still have a chance. They still, like I said, they got a lot of talent on that team. So just the teams around here that we have a chance to play in. Smith will be small 4A, Southeast will be small 4A.
High Point Central small 4A.
High Point Central will be small 4A.
On a given night, it didn't happen at all last week. They did have some guys out, to their credit, by losing. They had a couple guys that are missing, but High Point Central, on a given night, they can take anybody out.
Oh yeah, High Point Central has a lot of talent over there. You know, one thing with me, if Dudley's not playing, I'm gonna root for High Point Central because I teach at Ferndale Middle School right beside.
Really?
Yeah, I teach at Ferndale.
Right there on the street, right
there. So a lot of my kids are at High Point
The
Central.
whole school is like on Ferndale Drive.
Yeah. So like when Albert was at Ferndale.
Albert was there. I remember I saw his game against Northwest Middle years ago.
All those kids at High Point Central.
Oh yes.
Those are my babies. So you know.
Yeah, because I knew Albert. I blew Albert away last year when he was here. I said, I remember back when you were number 45.
Big 45. You know. Crazy. So yeah. So if my boys are, if we not playing.
So you know all those guys.
Yeah, I know all those guys. Yeah. Jamil Mack, Jeffrey Wall, all those guys over there. Chavis was one of my students 2 years ago.
Solid runner.
Yeah, he's one of my students 2 years ago. And you know, so you know, I love any chance I can go watch them play. Yeah. I'll take the opportunity to go watch them play.
That's probably good for you too, in case you may see them later on.
Yes, and you know, they say you out here scared. No, I just want to watch my kids play. You know, those are my kids. So
I remember back in the day, 1 year Dudley went over to Central, beat Central there. Then I remember later on, Dudley hit
2004.
Central came over to your place.
Yeah, I still remember that 2004 game where we had to go to Central and.
Yeah, it was like I think it might have been Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah,
close to it.
They were number 2 in the state. We had to go there.
Johnson kid at quarterback. They were ranked high then too.
Yeah, they were number 2 in the state, and we came in there and played our best ball. We played it. Beat them 22-7.
Who was that Kennedy kid you guys had?
Kennedy Tinsley. Yes.
Man.
Went on to Carolina.
And there was a guy named Gerald Kennedy.
Gerald Kennedy
also,
as well. Yes.
There was a kid named was it Kenny Ihinichu?
Yeah, we had Kenny Ihinichu every season. We had 3 Kennedys on the team.
Yeah.
Kenny Ihinichu about 6'6", great target
Those
for us.
Ihinichu guys were not bad receivers.
Yes, we had 3 of them.
Yeah, amazing.
Mike Kennedy and Kingsley.
Yeah,
yes.
And Kennedy Tinsley, I guess, assistant coach at Eastern Guilford.
Yes, he's doing a great job over there with
That's
Eastern. I talked to him at one of the scrimmages, and that was one of my great friends growing up, and he's doing a great job over there.
He went to play Carolina, didn't he?
Yes, he went over to
running back or linebacker there?
He went there and played running back and fullback, and then his last 2 seasons moved over to defense, played middle linebacker.
Yeah.
And then I played fullback for the Rams for a little bit, for the St. Louis Rams.
Really? He made that because he was kind of coming in that same mold of a guy like Madison Hedgecock.
Yes.
And once a guy like Hedgecock made it, you went after guys like that for that same school.
He was a great athlete, great size and great strength. Mm-hmm. He was benching 340 when he was at Dudley. One of those strong kids, just naturally strong kids, and he was one of those you don't mind running behind somebody like Kennedy.
Remember some crazy games we talked about these maybe last year. You guys went down to Eastern Randolph one night. You went down to Southern Durham, all those places.
Yes.
Win them all.
Oh. Listen, I was telling kids the Southern Durham that when we played when I was in high school, it's pretty much the Southern Durham you see now.
Yeah.
They've come back to Southern Durham, but they play some great football down there in Southern.
I still remember when Ricky Lewis Jr. was with your team. You guys went down to Oxford that night.
Oh yeah,
it was a cold Friday night.
Little old Ricky, man.
He could run the sidelines, get anybody around.
Oh yeah.
And they had a player on that team too, that Thorpe kid. That Thorpe kid was a great quarterback for Oxford.
Ricky was just a football player. He just did things that you really couldn't teach sometimes.
Had a knack for it.
Yeah, he had a knack for it. You just give him the ball, he could do some things.
He's about one of the better pickup players in the pickup game in the backyard, or maybe a big group game. You could ever grab him. He probably leads you to a win.
Yeah, because you can put Ricky in any position and he could play it. He play defense, he play offense. We didn't naturally, thankfully we didn't need him on defense, but he could play it. Anything on offense, you could just put the ball in hand. Because when Ricky first got there, he was a running back. And then
sure was. Number 22 back then.
And that's why he kept his number.
Yeah.
He said, I'm gonna just keep it and play
the old Doug Flutie number.
Yeah, but he just moved on the quarterback and did great things. So Ricky's a great young man.
You love your football. You love your school.
Yeah, I love it, man. This has just been a blessing to come back, and this is my 5th year at Dudley now, and come back, and I love these kids, man. Just give back to my old school, my alma mater.
And so you teach at Ferndale during the day.
Yes.
What do you teach over there?
I teach math.
Wow, that's another feather in your cap. Because that's,
yes.
No disrespect for your teachers teach whatever class they teach, but I guarantee you're teaching math or science. You're academic, man.
Yes,
there's nothing easy about that stuff.
I told them that's why one thing we preach is, man, you got to have something to fall back on.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, you're an injury away from not playing the sport ever again, and I was blessed enough to. I love math. I majored in mathematics when I was at A&T, and then I just fell in love with math, and I want to get back to it.
You think you'll be able to get back to Dudley one day?
Oh yeah, I'm working that way. Like I said, I had a great opportunity at Ferndale coming out when I came out, and I knew one of the principals there and gave me a great opportunity. It wasn't any math vacancies at the time at Dudley, so I just took the job, and it's been a blessing. Middle school's a different breed.
Is your math designed toward middle school or designed toward high school, or it doesn't matter?
Well, I teach both. I teach middle school math, and I also teach high school math. I have classes where I teach geometry, I teach algebra 1, I teach regular 7th, 8th grade math. I've been teaching 8th grade the last couple of years. This year I'm teaching 7th grade. I still teach algebra and geometry to cover my classes. So I teach a lot. And I help them.
That's quite a role to be in, to be able to mentor those kids. Right. Those middle school kids, like that's a different breed of kid.
Yeah, it's a different breed.
A lot of growing up going on there.
Yeah, you got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of hormone, a lot of changes going on.
So you're wide open energy. You probably fit right in with those guys.
You
probably can take it. Some of those other people probably look at them and say, you kids are crazy. You probably say, you kids are kids.
I got to come in with my A game every day.
Oh, yeah, bound to.
My stress reliever is coming to 1200 Lincoln Street and looking at these kids right here.
Football practice has been for guys for years. Get that practice.
That's my woo side from work every day. So it's great. Like I said, I've seen some of these kids from Pee-wees all the way up.
That's the fun thing too. Seeing those guys, you look at like David Amerson, you look at Eric Ebron, look at all those guys that played around here, one of them that play in the pros. That's the fun part about it. Seeing them move up.
And then every time Dave comes back to school, man, we're just so proud of him, because he's handling himself on the field all the time.
That first year, you get to that first year. It seems like with the pros, you get that first year, you get a chance to make it.
And he's doing very well. He's handling and managing his money, everything. He's doing very well in Washington right now. And he's actually stepped up. He's the man right now in the secondary for him. He's the man now. So he stepped up.
And the good thing is, if you can establish yourself by that second year, other teams start to see in case if it ever does happen, you need to change teams.
Exactly.
Somebody else will be able to pick you up.
And one thing, Dave has worked his tail off. Come in.
He's worked to get better.
Yes, he's worked. When he was at State, he had a great year, and then had an okay year.
When he writes the book one day, he writes a chapter about that senior year. That's going to be a turning point in his life.
Because
that Tennessee game, that's the one they still point back at, the crazy Tennessee game.
But like I said, when you had the bullseye on your back, you're gonna get everybody's best shot, and that's one thing we tell you: you're gonna get everybody's best shot. And it was a great learning for him that year, and he said he took that and it helped him going to Washington, as a Cowboy fan.
They played this week.
I know.
Wow.
Everything in me, I can't root for the Redskins, but I'm a root for David.
The Cowboys are playing good football right now.
I'm gonna ride this wave as long as I can with my Cowboys.
They've got themselves a new big three working.
Yes, and we starting to look good. We playing some football.
Kids rushed like 700 yards.
Yes, and one thing, like I said, you start up front with a great offensive line. You build there. Yes, sir.
And the quarterback for the Redskins is be this Colt McCoy kid this week.
Yes.
Go with him.
So hopefully we can get out there a little bit. I'll go for number 35. 39. I'll go for number 39.
Is that the same number he had at State? 39?
No, he was number one.
That's right.
He was number one at NC State. He's the only Redskin I'll be able to go for. But I'm gonna root for him. I'll root for him any other game. I don't know if I can root for him this week.
Yeah, he had a game last year. He actually went head-to-head with Keenan Allen.
Yes, they had a great matchup there.
Yeah.
Dave had an interception. And Keenan had a touchdown. So they were 1-1.
The balance, yeah.
And they've been going to get since when Keenan was at Northern and Dave was at Dudley. They pretty much even all the way through college, and now still in the pros. They still pretty much even.
And I don't think Keenan Allen beat you guys.
No.
I don't think he beat Dudley. About it.
No, Keenan didn't beat us. That was one thing we can brag about. Keenan didn't beat us.
Because I remember one game, one Friday night at your place, that was the night they started putting him as a receiver, and they started putting him a quarterback.
Yeah.
They put him everywhere trying to get you
we put David on, we put one-on-one, said, David, your job is Keenan this week, and he held up, and they put him at quarterback. He made a couple plays at quarterback. He actually threw one to Maurice,
Oh, man,
so they threw 1, 2 more reasons, but that was the only one we got from him. So, one thing we could brag about, he didn't beat us.
Well, you think? This is all things kind of off the cuff. Do you think we'll see Dudley Northern match up again in the future? Think those two get back together?
Northern has a great program. We'll love to play Northern. With Coach Roscoe back, hopefully we can get everything back, because I think we started a pretty good rivalry. We was 2-2 before things got. So and
it makes both teams better.
It's a great measuring stick.
Oh yeah,
for both teams.
Season, no doubt about it.
Great measuring stick. I'll let you know where you are.
No doubt about it.
So I also root for my Nighthawks a little bit as well. I won't tell. I got a couple guys over there that I root for over there. So
a couple connections over there. Yep.
And a couple guys over there that
I think I know.
I still support them.
I had one in my head, and another one came to me. I know. Yeah.
We got a couple over there.
The one of them is really an athlete. I don't think he knows what an athlete he is.
Yes,
he's a crazy athlete.
Yes, man. Watch that one grow up.
Yeah, because that one's he's like the guy who was playing basketball. He started playing more football. And man, football, he's just could be like a beast as they call these guys.
Oh yeah. They Northern has a great football team, and I think they're gonna make a deep run.
Seems like a lot of respect to him, just saying this getting off the cuff, because I don't know everything, but just by observing things, a lot of respect between Coach Roscoe and Coach Davis.
Oh yes.
Anytime we talk to Coach Davis, a lot of respect for those guys between each other.
Yeah, Coach Roscoe is a great coach and has a great program over there, and I think it's a mutual respect between both programs.
Both programs, a lot of success.
Yes.
Both have experienced where some other teams may have not gotten there.
Right.
Sometimes it's tougher when you hadn't been there.
Right.
But Dudley's having trouble sometimes too. You'd like to get Northern back on the schedule because you guys are having trouble finding people even willing to play it.
Yeah, yes, we have some scheduling troubles right now. Like I said, this year and last year we had to kind of go out and play again. We had made
play every team in Durham County.
Yeah, we played Northern Durham, Hillside, and we went to Person County.
Yeah,
so
Person County, I heard that want to play anymore.
Yeah.
That's what I was hearing.
Yeah, so we're going to have to find some more games coming up.
The crazy thing was you're playing Northern Durham. You're playing a Northern Durham team. You got them coming up on your schedule thinking, we got Northern Durham. We don't want to look around. We do look around. We can't stop looking around.
Right.
We see where Northern Durham and Southeast went and beat them 44-0.
Right.
We got Northern Durham, and you got to get up for that game somehow.
Right, our team knew what we did wrong in that game, and they knew it, and that kind of opened some eyes when we played Northern Durham after that. And practice has gotten a lot better since then, and because I think that really opened some eyes for us, that you gotta play. You gotta, yes, we were injured, but you still gotta play football.
Yeah.
We don't make excuses at Dudley at all. So.
And you tell your older guys, it's you more than anybody else.
Yeah. This is on you. You know what I'm saying?
If you're hurt, you still gotta play. You gotta carry the load.
Exactly.
And if you're winning, that hurt's not quite as bad when it's over.
And two of those guys that you talked to earlier actually made two of the biggest plays for us that game to kind of get us over that hump. Darius hit with a punt return for 75 yards, and Trey was a 70-yard interception return. So those guys made some big plays for us in that game to kind of give us over that hump.
That's the kind of thing for Dudley. It's not unusual. The big plays. You guys are kind of famous for big plays over the years.
Yeah, we made probably, a lot of people say, we might not have the stats, hey, we do what we got to do. We're more of a ball control,
You look at the final score. You guys won. Look at the win column. You lost.
You read some things. We can't put points up. We put up as many as we need to, to keep moving on. So.
Do you think you'll be a head coach one day? You hope you'll
yes.
do that down the road?
That's I'm trying to work my way through the coaching ranks. So continue to learn from Coach Davis, one of the best around, best in the state. I continue to learn a lot from just how to handle a program, just the ins and outs of not just being a football coach. Just being the head man of a program. You just run the show on and off the field. What you have to do to make a successful program.
He seems like the kind of man that can make decisions. He's seen it so much, done it so many times. He can make those decisions pretty quickly and usually make the right choice.
Because I've known Coach Davis for a long time. When I first was at Dudley, he was my defensive coordinator, and then when Coach Floyd left, he got the nod as the head coach. So I've been kind of being with him at
understudy.
As an understudy, even as he started as a head coach, through his maturation as a head coach, I've been around, and I've just been watching him grow as a wonderful head coach and a great man, and I'm just trying to catch as much as I can.
The good thing you got going for you is that math background. That should get you a job, because they're looking for male teachers in the world to work with kids and teaching math. That's going to get you a job any place, anytime, somewhere for the future.
They say you're a special breed to be able to teach math, and you got to have some patience.
You ever go back, maybe get a higher level degree, go for a master's degree?
Yes, I'm working on my master's now.
Are you working on it right now?
Yes, I'm working on it.
That's going to be a feather in your cap,
Yes,
too.
I'm working on it. Hopefully I should be finished actually in May. I'm finishing up in May.
You get that from A&T, UNCG, or A&T?
From A&T. I'm working on my master's right now at A&T.
You played other sports back in the day, or just football?
I played football, and I also played basketball at Dudley. But I played during the powerhouse years of the Kevin Swins, the Will Graves, the Eric Hicks.
I'll tell you one thing, we could have got,
Prince
we got it rolling. So we could have got Eric Hicks in the football field. Can you imagine that?
There's a lot of guys when I play,
Will Graves the same thing.
Will Graves was a great football player. He was he could throw one about 70 yards, Hey, he made his own path on the basketball court. Had a great career playing basketball. But it's a lot of studs that come through Dudley, and hopefully we can get a couple more of those basketballs on the football field.
Yeah, and I hope keep getting more guys like you too that go for that extra mile academically, get that degree in math, and get that master's degree.
Yes,
if you ever got a doctor's degree, nobody could touch you. Guarantee you, they could not touch you then.
That's how I'm feeling right now with this math.
Yeah. Depends. It's day to day at middle school level, right?
Yeah, see, even going from there, and I got a full plate every day, going from teaching to coaching to doing my own homework.
Right, yeah.
So,
You got to study and grade those papers. You got some work cut out for you there, too. And you don't give these assignments either where the kids just go take a paper home and write it and bring it back.
Oh, no. Middle school now, we're using these tablets, so now I got to be more, got to be on my technology and seeing everything.
Can you log in at home and grade their stuff from their computer?
Yes, they can send me their stuff in email.
Wow.
They email me their homework and stuff now, and so.
I hope they don't start doing this when they email you their homework asking questions. That could really get crazy, wouldn't it? Is that happening
I get it all that week.
Wow.
It's a chat that they can ask me questions.
Oh boy, you better go for the doctors in psychology.
Yes, I just got to turn it off.
Yeah,
At the certain,
break away.
yeah, leave me alone. I'm not Mr. Best anymore.
How old are you now? About 28?
Yes, I'm 27 at the moment.
Yeah, I figure you're still
Yes,
young. You still
yes.
got it, but you probably some days you feel like you're 17. Other days you feel like you're 47.
Yeah, it depends on the day, huh?
You got the energy though.
Oh yes,
you
and
gotta keep that going.
these guys keep me energized.
That's good stuff.
When the days I come down low, either hard at work, they say, "No, Coach Best, we need you today."
Pick you up.
So they pick me up, and so we got each other back Monday through Thursday, and definitely on Friday.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you,
for
sir.
talking to us.
Thank you.
Congratulations in the future on that Masters. Let us know when you get that. That's
Thank
something
you,
to
sir.
publicize.
Thank you, sir.
That'll do it. Football and Further Exchange. Check out. Let's see, we got anybody in the back we want to talk to. We're rolling time-wise. Let's roll it. That'll do it for tonight. That's a wrap for Exchange
Thank you.
Check.